Do we need to take a break? No.
No, I'm good.
I need to shit and make dinner.
I'm hungry, and we still have 3 categories left. Yeah.
We better talk fast.
Do we want to wrap it at best character then?
I mean, I'm fine to continue. I can.
Yeah, but if Jason's hungry, like I don't want to. I would rather end it at best character and not rush. No, I think we should be fine because, like, I mean, best tool and weapon and best game not released this year theoretically aren't categories where we should like fucking jerk off on and on.
Well, tool and weapon, maybe.
Tool and weapon. Let me talk to. If you talk about the fucking grappling hook for more than 2 minutes, I'm quitting. I got sour news for you, Jack. Because I actually really like this category. I've got a ton of shit for this category.
I've got
and like limiting it to 3 was really tough.
I've got one good thing for this category.
That's fine. You can just talk about my characters that I say. It's wild to me that you only have one, Ryan, because I know you played Psychonauts.
Yeah, but it's been a while since I've played it, and like, I mean, looking back, if they were that good, I would remember them.
I guess you're right. Okay. Well, we'll go down. And then we're going to talk about the best characters of 2021, distinctly different category than best story or writing, whereas Ratchet has a great ensemble cast of characters. This is to call out specifically notable ones. This one, I had to make some extremely tough choices. I could have made a top 10 of this and then still left out people I like. But I'm going to start with my number 3, which is from Psychonauts 2. It is one Sarah Bool. Sarah is the granddaughter of one of the Psychic Six in the game, but more notably, she is Dogen Bool's older sister. And she does not disappoint in any way. She is delightfully dopey. Her psychic power is that she can summon animals, which she often summons this dumbass fucking whale. In terms of like around the overworld, she is in the questionable spot in the diner, being told by Coach Oleander to just make infinite pancakes because he wants to build a tank out of pancakes. She is just delightful to talk to at every single interaction. I always loved seeing what Sarah had to say. I hated basically every single other one of the interns, but Sarah, being of the Bool family, who are Psychonauts' best family, just fantastic to see her. I think that she iterates on the Dogen Bool character in a very fun way. And I never was disappointed when I talked to Sarah.
I did not make it far enough in the game to meet her.
You didn't finish that game.
No.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Moving on. Ryan, what's your 3? I was like, that game sucked. Hey, we'll get there. That we've got a category for that.
My number 3 is Pothead from Death's Door. He's a man who has a pot for a head.
Pothead's pretty. I do really like Pothead.
He kind of takes up the
he's Sigmire.
He's Sigmire, yeah.
Yeah,
or
he's
Siegfried,
just Sigmire.
whichever one you like. He takes up that role of like, he's kind of a dopey knight that's not very good at what he does, and you come in and do what he's supposed to do, and he's kind of there. Yeah, he's there along with you. But he's a pot from his head, and he serves you soup because he's cursed to have a pot for a head.
His grandma turned his head into a pot as a way for him to achieve immortality.
Funniest shit I've ever seen.
And she was successful. But yeah, Pothead, I do quite like Pothead. Pothead's probably the standout character of that game, honestly.
I agree.
But Hunter, what is your standout character number 3?
I only had 2 originally, but then I thought of a third one just now, and it's Butler from Halo Infinite.
Yeah, Butler's kind of fucking incredible, and I really wish I could have had him on my list.
He's one of the AI companions that it's, as far as the multiplayer is concerned, all it's really used for is the announcer.
Yeah, he's one of the announcers you can pick in Halo.
He's an angry British AI that, like, when you shoot something or you get a nice weapon, he's just like, "Oh, nice one, Spartan."
or like if you pick up the gravity hammer, he'll be like, "Gravity hammer, enemy bones cry out in terror, Spartan," and just says like
just says
cool
weird
shit
one-liners
constantly.
and shit.
Like he's like they put Lord Shaxx from Destiny into Halo, and it's just fantastic. Like I've unlocked several other AIs, but they are all just dog shit trash in comparison. Butler's the best AI, hands down. I wanted to put him on my list, but I did not have the categories. But Jason, who did you want to put on your list in the number 3 spot?
I liked the Duke for
Yes.
obvious reasons.
The controller.
Again, I've only played like a quarter of the game, so I've only interacted with him a handful of times.
It's great.
But there's just something great about him, and he's not even kind of scary. And it's awesome that like most of the time that you're in the castle, you can just like run to the Duke's room if you're trying to escape from something. And just listen to
is this
listen to him
Resident Evil?
cough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Okay.
the merchant
He's
in Resident Evil.
Yeah, he's the merchant.
Yeah,
He's
he's
just-
absurdly fat.
Yeah,
he's
he's
the big
really,
old
really
Jabba
fat.
the-
And he's like always like,
Jabba the Hutt
Mr.
looking fella.
Winters.
He's always got a smile on his face.
He
And
is
he
Throw
a
a
really
Kim
grenade at
Berry
him and he'll
character.
only flinch.
Oh hell yeah!
And
Like
he references the other merchant from
Yeah, they're
4.
friends because
Yeah.
of course they would be.
Yeah, you got to make friends if you're in that business.
The
He'll
Duke
cook
is
for
someone
you.
I desperately wanted to put on my list, and I'm really happy you brought him up because I think the Duke is better than the Resident Evil 4 merchant. Like the Resident Evil merchant is certainly more iconic, but like in terms of person I actually would like to like hang out with, or like I'm always happy to see him. The Duke every
Oh
time.
yeah, I would never want to hang out with the merchant from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah,
But
he looks
the
weird.
Duke
All he-
probably smells like shit. But god,
All he
damn,
does
he's
is
cool.
ask me what I'm buying
Hey, he sometimes wants
Or-
to know what you're selling,
or what I'm selling.
and he also lets you know that he'll buy something at a high price. What more do you
And-
need out of someone?
No matter how many times you meet him, you're always a stranger.
Yeah. But no, the Duke
Just
is
won't
great.
open up.
I greatly enjoyed the Duke. However, the Duke was not good enough to make it into my number 2 position, which is invoking our BJ Blazkowicz rule. So people have said this thing online for years that has like really bothered me. They've been saying this for decades even. It's where they are absolutely convinced that the main character of Metroid is a badass bounty hunter. I always think this is a really crazy thing to say because that's literally never shown in any game at any point. But everyone has this just established headcanon that she's a badass bounty hunter for some fucking reason. I've never understood it. And then when they did a game that made her not a badass bounty hunter, they said it was character assassination. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about because she's never had a fucking character until Metroid Dread, where Samus Aran not only has a character, not only is it a super kick-ass bounty hunter who like wants to get shit done, but much like I will praise Unpacking for its environmental storytelling, Samus's character is told purely through body language, and it's fucking phenomenal the entire game. Completely wordlessly going through this game, doing the silent protagonist thing, but having just the perfect body language for every scene, completely conveying to me this character, I think is fucking fantastic, and that it is actually showing this character that people have alluded to for 20 fucking years. I think it's super cool that they actually finally made Samus really, really cool.
They finally
There's a-
confirmed that she's a badass bounty hunter.
Yeah, they do this thing when you meet Kraid for the first, or when you do the Kraid boss fight, where
Yeah,
she like
Samus
Craig?
just looks tired.
yeah, she like walks in and she's like got the gun. She realizes it's Kraid, and then it's just kind of like, oh, it's just Kraid. Like I've killed you like 5 times already,
It's like
dude.
this fucking guy again.
And it's like, and you know, like he starts to break his chains, and she's still just like barely even giving a shit. It's like, it's fucking Kraid. Who cares? But just other stuff like when she gets like knocked on the ground, like she'll sit there, and then like you can watch her relax. If it's with like friendly characters, it's again like I'm half doing this to just praise how well they did body language in this game, but also
Because I mean, that can be a big part of it. Just having people
Yeah.
like stand statically and like, "Rah, rah, rah."
yeah, like the motion capture for like whoever was when they got Andy Serkis to do this character, he was working overtime, baby.
Well, that's actually
Um,
why the game took so long to come out. Is he did it the first time all like Gollum style. He was hunched
Oh,
over.
Yeah.
And when they were porting it to the Switch, they actually lost all of that.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yes, I congratulate Metroid Dread for at long last giving Samus a character. Very cool of them to do that finally. But Ryan, what is your number 2?
I don't know if this character has a name, so I've dubbed it either the librarian or the teacher, because it's in the school section of Little Nightmares 2. She's the big bad of that area, and she has an extendable neck, and it makes that section really tense because you can't.
Creepy.
Yeah, you can't like escape upwards because she can like stretch her neck out. I think she's the creepiest one in the game. But man, it's a really cool section that they've built around a character. She's like wrapping her head around books and stuff, and it's hard to sneak around because she can move her head. It reminds me of that part in there's a part in Evil Dead 2, and then a part in Beetlejuice where their necks stretch out, and it's
Geese are scary, man.
yeah.
Does she bite you?
She can, yeah.
Yeah.
She's my favorite of those monsters, and I really enjoyed that section of the game.
Hunter, what is a section of the game isolated to one character that you enjoyed the second most in 2021?
Well, this one is it's kind of bullshit.
Can't just let me have an easy time ever, can you?
No, because I was
somebody from
struggling with
Nier.
this category. Yeah, it's Brother Nier. Specifically because it was Father Nier released in the
It's
Western
unique
version.
to this year, kinda.
I mean, technically he was in the original
Yeah,
one, but only in some
technically.
crappy like memory DLC thing. But yeah,
That's not good content.
that's why I put this one as the number 2 of the 2 I had instead of 1, even though I think Nier is a better character than my number 1.
But with that, Jason, what is your number 2?
This is going to be another service to Dash because I feel like I was groomed while playing the game to have this opinion. But it's Rivet.
2 for 2,
I-
baby.
Because I've never played a Ratchet and Clank game before, but as we were both playing the game at the same time, I was led to like view that Ratchet was written really poorly and didn't do anything interesting, and Rivet had all the fun stuff.
So yeah,
And
like
you're not wrong,
in
but I don't know if I would have noticed it if you weren't complaining about it, comparing it to the previous game.
But I mean, it's more like Ratchet is nothing. He's just so milquetoast. He is a galactic hero. Like
yeah, which they've been doing that since
the
Future
fourth
Tools of
game.
Destruction, and I do not like that direction.
In the original trilogy, he was kind of like, in early 2000s, kind of snarky mascot platformer.
He was a shit ass who saved
Yeah, he
the
was
world.
a shit ass, a reluctant hero. And Rivet, they don't make her like a complete shit ass, but they at least put edge on her. And like Ratchet is the smoothest, most rounded, most like mass marketable, acceptable fucking hero now.
He's Sony's Mario.
Yeah, he's Sony's Mario, but like Rivet actually is like compelling and interesting
Sony's
fun.
Luigi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad you
Yeah,
called out Rivet specifically.
Yeah, but no, I mean that kind of like it makes me wish I had a interest in playing the old ones because I think it'd be fun with him as
they're
a shit ass
so-
character.
They're
They're
so
so
good.
Because
like-
he was so just like, mwah.
And in like, it's not even like
Like,
there's
I
more
don't
than
hate
edge.
him.
Like
He just
in
wasn't, like,
Ratchet
funny.
1, he's straight up a douchebag. Like
Oh yeah,
he
he
is.
sucks.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
really is.
And in 2, even like in 2, it's like he gets a little bit of fame, but he still is like kind of. It's like it's not until 3 that he really becomes a hero.
Yeah, but even then,
even
in
even
3,
then, he's
he's
still
like
got-
he's jealous that Clank is getting all the
Yeah.
the attention and stuff. So a lot of the plot is moving forward because he's just like I am jealous of what he's doing.
Yeah, but like in 1, he is straight up like an anti-hero. Yeah, it's and Rivet, like, well, Rivet is like always good. It's a lot of like I think the stuff that they do between her and what we Scudge
Spunk.
Spunk.
I don't know. You can't even Google it.
I don't remember her fucking name. It's something really easy. But like the dynamic that she has with her Clank is pretty good. Like I frankly would rather this just become the Rivet series. I don't want to see any more Ratchet. They've proven for like what 5 games now that they're not willing to do anything interesting with him. So
Yeah.
like give me Rivet and let's just do Rivet from now on. It's a lot better. or at least it's better than what they've been doing. But Skid?
Isn't that his name?
Skid McMarks is a different character.
Hold on. I'm like, Kit.
Kit, yes, Kit. Kit is her robot.
Is Spunk also a girl robot?
Yeah.
No. There's also they
No?
do a little bit where like Ratchet and Kit do stuff while Rivet and Clank do stuff, and then they do switch at a certain point. And I just think like Rivet, because I also think Clank, who's been written fairly consistently throughout his arc, is still good to have around, and the way he and Rivet play off each other is really, really good. Rivet's great. One might call Rivet the fourth best character of 2020. But let's stop fucking around now. We're going to number one, and I gotta say, like, there have been so few examples where I see a character or a tool, a moment or sequence, story, soundtrack, wherever, where I can just immediately say that's gonna win the category.
Yeah, he's gonna be talked about later this year.
So let's talk about Dr. Hakeem, the Book of Love.
Okay, yeah. He's
No,
also
my
my
top-
number one.
That's my
Yeah,
top dog.
Is that everybody's number one?
Like it's
So
it-
fucking stupid
it
and
would
awful.
do
You
that
want to
game
break
a
him in half the
dis-
entire time.
it would do that game a disservice to say he makes that game. But god damn.
Well, so I
I
mentioned
love
earlier
how
about
much the main characters hate him.
Yeah.
So
well,
he also-
the players hate him too. But it's
Yeah, because like every time he'd show up, I would groan around like, God damn it.
yeah, because we were talking about kind of like the scattershot nature of like it feels random and roller coastery, but he's the crux of why things keep changing and
Yeah.
it's so crazy. Is like he will show up and be like, You're going to a fucking snow level now, and you're just like, you motherfucker.
He
You
brings
need to
problems
remember
to
your
you.
love.
Yeah.
Also worth mentioning, Dr. Hakeem's voice actor is Cody's voice actor.
Yeah, same guy.
Does a great job. But yeah, no, just Dr. Hakeem, every single minute he's on screen, it's always just like, please go away, you son of a bitch. He's gonna make everything worse for me. He's gonna make everything bad. I just fucking hate him. But he's the best character of 2020. It's like it's not even close. Like
Yeah,
just-
in a year of kind of like mediocre stuff coming out, Dr. Hakeem is
Doctor,
a
like
light.
he has been number one the entire year, and no one's even come close.
Since the moment he showed up on screen.
It's like my only note in my like Goaty list on my phone was I wrote him down as like as soon as he showed up on screen in that game. I was like, yeah,
And-
that guy's probably gonna be up there.
He was
Yeah.
in the trailers, and he was like the thing in the trailers, making it like, oh, what the fuck is like, and he just looks horrible. Like he looks dirty and gross.
He's got like this mustache.
Ugh. Like the shittiest, just Necronomicon son of a bitch. Like,
I like the part where he dances and all the light sticks just leave the dance floor because he's so awful.
yeah,
Yep.
like they keep it, like they keep him, like he sucks in game. There's an awareness with Dr. Hakeem's writing that I think is unparalleled in any other character this year.
I'm just shocked by people who hate him legitimately. Like they
Oh,
dislike the
no.
game because of him.
No, he's a heel. He is a
And those
natural
people
Yeah.
heel.
exist.
He's like charmingly annoying. I've said
Yeah.
for years, like even purposefully annoying is still annoying. And I think Dr. Hakeem is the exception
Yeah,
that proves
like-
that rule.
like he makes things like Claptrap look so much worse by comparison,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like
Claptrap doesn't need help looking awful.
it's like yes, he is annoying and he's supposed to be annoying, but I'm not actually sick of him. Like
Yeah.
I
No,
actually
he's-
want him to continue to show up.
He's no Eric Sparrow.
No one is. I have a Dr. Hakeem charm for a Battlefield gun if I ever actually play that game.
Worth it.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't want them to ever iterate on that game. I think that game was a nice, perfect little thing.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
And
Well, maybe they will now that it's a little bit more
I
successful.
don't want,
but-
because I think if they like, I don't think they could capture lightning in a bottle with Dr. Hakeem specifically twice.
right.
I think if they
Yeah.
like were trying too hard, they would miss it.
I wouldn't mind more like easy breezy coupe games though.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I mean, that's what that dude makes. Like that's
Really?
like that's all he does.
we'll get into it. That's the theme of this year. But yeah, those are going to be our characters.
Anybody have any quick honorable mentions?
Dooley and Galerius in the Forgotten City are really nice. Rivet and Zircon Jr. I had written down. I had the Duke. I had Colt from Deathloop. At a certain point, I had to stop keeping track of characters because I knew that it's like they're not going to make my top 3.
Yeah, my only honorable mention was, I think if I played, like, got enough time to play more Deathloop, I think Colt might have been in there, because I liked what I've seen so far, but I've only played like an hour or 2 of it, maybe.
The story of Deathloop's really bad, but Colt's got really good banter. Like Colt and Juliana talking back and forth. It does that same thing.
I have heard that the story is bad.
It's not 12 minutes bad. They make some questionable choices. They don't go 12 minutes with it.
Very few things are 12 minutes bad.
Very few things are 12 minutes bad.
I think the only like honorable mentions I'd probably have would be like from Sable. There's like a grandma figure that it's a good character like that. And then there's, I can't remember the character's name, but she's like a world famous like poet who just disappears. So you spend a lot of the game like visiting these like clued at locations. You find her at like the top of this impossible to reach mountain, and she's just chilling there. And then you have this like deep conversation about what you want to do. She doesn't show up for very long. She's there for like maybe 5 minutes, but it's like that was a really cool part of the game.
I think Cyclops 2 also has a lot of characters, like Raz's dad, Jack Black's character. Like there's a lot of pretty decent character pieces in there.
I want to give a shout out to a side quest demon in Smit 5 that is just hanging out and is like, hey, can you go get me an electric guitar, this sick album, and also a TV with a game console built into it? And then you just find those things and bring them back. And he's thanks.
That's
my summoner wanted me to like fight and stuff, but I ditched him.
He's a gamer. But that's going to bring us to a close for best character. I think this might be the only time we have had a universal agreement on a number 1.
I think so.
So Dr. Hakeem, we thank you
there's only
for your
4
service.
I couldn't remember his name, so I put down Dr. Bookman from It Takes Two.
I bet if we had had a full house, we still would have gotten Dr. Hakeem at number 1.
Which I think
possible.
Dr. Hakeem is a great character who probably would compete for a number 1 slot in any other year, but then at least for the rest of us, it was kind of a weak year for characters as it was.
But yeah, Dr. Hakeem hangs with But yeah, that will bring us to a close on character. Join us next time where we'll be talking about the best weapon or tool. And we will get through that. It was a pretty decent year for weapon or tool. But we will see you then.